Hi there, and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I'm so glad you've taken time to join me in my kitchen because I'm cooking a fantastic recipe for you today. It's my chicken basil stir fry. It's an awesome recipe. It's out of this fabulous book, Simply Too Good to Be True number 6. It also has a 28-day masterclass in it, but this is the actual recipe we'll be making today. And it's just one of my all-time favourite stir fries, so I'm so excited to cook it for you today. But last week we had winners, so let's talk about those fabulous girls. Karen Ferguson, Deirdre Hughes and Belinda Louise Begbie. Well done, you've got a cookbook on the way from last week's show. So what do we need for this stir fry? So we start with 500 grams of skinless chicken breast, and I'm going to dice that. You need mushrooms, broccoli, carrots, snow peas, capsicum and onion, which to me are just so fabulous in a stir fry, and beautiful colours. Now, to give it all the flavour that this recipe is the bomb of flavours, you're going to put a little bit of fresh chilli in. You've got your kaffir lime leaves, I'll talk about them in a minute. You've got fish sauce, hoisin. Now, hoisin sauce, it's like a Chinese sauce. You've got fresh basil leaves, which are divine. You've got some stock powder, a little bit of sugar, cornflour and water, and cooking spray. So there you go. So let's start first. I want to cook the chicken off first. So let's get that done. Now, of course, you know I always use chicken breasts without the skin, and you want them to be bite-sized pieces of chicken. You don't want really big, because sometimes people like to use chopsticks when they have Chinese or Thai. I think this is a mixture between Thai and Chinese, really. So we're dicing the chicken breast. Now, you can actually swap it if you want. If you don't want chicken tonight, you can have it with the rump, lamb, tofu, and it's just beautiful anyway with the proteins. All right, so I'm going to heat up my wok. Let's get that happening, because I'm going to be cooking the chicken first. And this is a really important tip for you, because when I make my stir fries, this is something I really encourage you to do, because years ago, before we all got so good in the kitchen, I mean, we're all just simply too good to be true, aren't we? You know, you'd cook it all off together. But I learned very early on that that wasn't the way to go, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to cook the chicken with the garlic and ginger, and then I'm going to take it out of the wok, and then we're going to cook some more. I'm just going to wash my chicken hands. And I'm going to chop up the veggies while this is cooking. So I'm just going to over to the side here. Now remember, we're making the chicken basil stir fry out of book 6. It's yum. So we're going to put in a teaspoon of the crushed ginger. Now you can use fresh if you really want. I'm just looking at how quick and how easy can I make this recipe. Hello. Yeah. So we've got 2 teaspoons of garlic, which is quite a bit for one of my stir fries, but it's definitely fantastic in it. And where's my stirrer? So what you're doing is you just cook that off for a second, and then we're going to add in the chicken pieces. Actually, I'm going to have to use my hands again. Now just put them in a bit at a time. Don't just throw the whole thing in, because the chicken's cold because it's been in the fridge. And I want to keep it sizzling. You know, you don't want stewed chicken. And what happens is when you're cooking it, oh, there's a little piece in the bowl, you're going to get all those beautiful flavours of the ginger and the garlic all mixed in. Let me get rid of this. And I'm going to wash my hands again, because I touched the raw chicken. All right. So now let me just give that a toss. Oh my gosh, the garlic and the ginger with it is so fragrant. It's just beautiful. All right, so while that's cooking away, I'm going to get my other chopping board. I have 2, exactly the same. I know, I love my chopping boards. And I'm going to prep up the veggies. Now, The next veggies that go in are the carrots, and I've sliced up a few of them because it just takes too long otherwise. There's a bit to get through on the show. And I want 2 cups of broccoli florets. Now when I say that, it's the bite-sized piece. Imagine if you've got your fork and you stick it in, you want to be able to, and big enough that it puts in your mouth. You don't want it to be like that big because that's too big even for my mouth. So we want 2 cups, and this goes in once the chicken's already cooked. And really when you're doing a stir fry, try not to overload with too many vegetables, okay? Because, I think you can get lost with all the flavours then. I always say like 5 veggies at the most, maybe 6 if you're including onion. And I think today I have got 5 veggies plus onion. So I'm at my max. There's my 2 cups looking fantastic. Let's get all this off the board. Give the chicken a stir. Look, I'm multitasking here because I'm a woman, I can do it. That looks great. A little bit longer. Okay, so now I've got the mushrooms here as well. Now I did chop them up a little bit ahead, but I'm going to just finish them off. So just slice them. And you want 1.5 cups. You don't have to peel the tops off the mushrooms. Please don't do that. All you need to do is just give them a wash before you start cooking and they'll be fantastic. Right, this chicken is cooked. I mean, the wok makes it really quick too. But what I'm doing is I've just cooked this chicken to perfection, I might say, and leave it to the side. It's going to be chucked back in later in the recipe. And what that means is that it's going to stay beautiful and moist, and I'm really happy with that. All right. Now I've just got one more thing to chop, so I'm going to leave that there for the moment. So let's put in the broccoli and the carrots. They're the 2 that probably take a little bit longer. Just give them a stir around. I'm just going to turn that down a fraction. And the other veggie that I want to chop up is oh my gosh, look at it. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Yellow capsicum. I said to Bill this morning, we need to eat more of the yellow. I mean, we just go for red and green all the time. And he said, well, it's because it's expensive. And I go, yes, but look at it, it's beautiful. Isn't it a treat? Oh my gosh, it's divine. So what I'm going to do is now cut into thin strips. And we want a cup. Now the yellow capsicum is actually quite sweet. So if you're not a huge capsicum fan, you actually might find that you tolerate the yellow one a little bit better. They're so good for you. When you look at all these colours, they're so vibrant and so perfect for good health and well-being. That's why I love stir fries. And I think as well what I love about stir fries is that they kind of just all go in one sort of hit with it all, and you've got all your veggies. You don't have to add anything. Most times with my stir fries, they've got lots of veggies in them. And all you need to do is prep up your rice or your noodles or whatever you're having. I might just do a little tiny bit more. And I mean, I always think about the eye. Think about when you look at food, because that's what sells it to you. How good does it look? And healthy food can look amazing. All right. So how am I looking here? I've got all of this done. All right. Now they're looking great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move my chopping board. I'm going to bring this over. And now what you do is you add in the mushrooms. Remember that was 1.5 cups. Cup of the yellow, sliced. Cup of onion. Oh no, it's an onion actually, a whole onion. And I just cut it, peeled it and cut it into quarters and then sliced it. Now we're also going to put snow peas in, and I've just kept a couple for you to see. So what you need to do with snow peas is just pull that end off and throw it out. So that's what you need to do. Just take that little bit off and you're good to go. Now if you go to the shops and they don't have any snow peas, you can always use sugar snaps if you wanted, because they're fantastic as well. All right. I'm going to put in the other ingredients. Now this is, remember, the chicken basil stir fry from book 6. I'm just going to toss that all together. Oh my gosh, look at these vegetables. It serves 4, so you're getting a good feed. And I'm now going to put in what I call my secret ingredient. That is the kaffir lime leaves. My gosh, please do not miss this out in the recipe. You can get them in the supermarkets now. You want the fresh, and you want it to be green. You don't want it to look yellow, because that means it's old. And it really makes this recipe fabulous. And I've also put in fresh chili in. I've done half a teaspoon, and I'm a bit of a chicken when it comes to chili. So when I make this, because I make this a lot, I always find that it's just warm, just a little bit warm with it. If you like hot, if you're a chili freak, then you might want to put a bit more in. But I always say start small and work your way up, because once you get up there, you can't go back. So I'm also putting in half a cup of water. Now this is how I'm going to kind of fry the veggies and cook them all off. And this is where it makes a difference. Like traditionally, this would be quite, about 20 grams of fat, 15, 20 at least, if you went into the restaurant to have it. But where the difference is the calories. My calories for this are only 218 per serve, and the traditional way is 565. That's right, that's a lot of calories. And this is why people love the recipes, because they help them. And I know on the Spring Challenge, everyone's very excited to be eating their way to slimness. So let's get rid of these. Oh my gosh, it just, a bowl of bliss in there. I just love veggies so much. You're going to cook that for about 3 minutes. Oh, yum. Perfect. Now, when you think about kaffir lime leaves, they're actually the Asian, very Asian cooking, and they're like bay leaves to the Mediterranean cooking, it's just their beautiful herb or spice, whatever you want to call it. It's a herb, and it's just fantastic. It just brings the dish up. And when with the fresh basil, oh my gosh. So now we're going to add in the rest of the stuff. So we've got the fish sauce. Now, fish sauce is actually quite high in sodium or salt. That's why I only put a little bit in. So not only are the recipes low in fat, now they're also really as low in sodium as I can get as well. So I'm using the low salt Basil chicken stock. Let's put those gorgeous basil leaves in. And now we're going to put in the hoisin. Now, the hoisin actually means seafood. Did you know that? I know, I'm a font of that, such wisdom. But it's really like a soybean paste with 5 spice. You can smell the 5 spice in it. And a bit of garlic. And that's what they make it. It's kind of the Chinese version of it, like our barbecue sauce. This is what they call like a barbecue sauce. I'm also going to put in a teaspoon, just a teaspoon of white sugar. And what that does is that mellows the flavours. Just that, it's incredible what a teaspoon does. All right, so everything's ready. All I've got to do now is mix the corn flour in to 1.5 cups of water, and this is where the sauce will come up. Yep, beautiful. I mean, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? Oh my gosh, it is so awesome, and it's from book 6. It's the chicken basil stir fry. Let me get the name right. I'm just a bit excited about it all. And now what I do is this is where you add the chicken back in. make sure you put all those juices in as well, because they'll be just even more taste going in. Now, if you would like to win book 6, I know you want to. It's the fabulous book. It's a huge book. Retails for $19.95. Now, if you want to win it, you just have to like the page, share, and in the comments, hello, hashtag Simply Too Good. Make sure you write it properly, because I can't pick you if you do a SIM. So it's Simply Too Good. And I will pick 3 fabulous winners for next week. Oh, and talking about next week, oh my gosh, we're going into the world of cheesecake. Oh yes. Oh, it's like a biblical word, isn't it? Cheesecake. Anyway, I'm going to make for you, out of book 5, it's the fruit salad baked cheesecake. It's probably one of the easiest cheesecakes you could ever make, so you have to be here. But as I said, this week, this was in my mentoring program menu plan. So you can still join if you want, because we only started on Monday. So you go to, Bill's holding the sign up for me, simplytoogood.com.au/membership. Go onto the website, www.simplytoogood.com.au, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, because I'll be putting a picture of this up shortly, and then you can check it out. So let's, look, this is it done. Oh, please. Are we excited? Oh, my Lord, yeah, this is just beautiful. I mean, what I love about this is the taste. Not only are you eating the most beautiful vegetables as well, but your mouth will just be in heaven at all the flavours. So there you go. I've made a bit of a mess, but there is Chicken Basil Stir Fry Book 6. You're welcome. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.